Welcome to the Ska History Hour with your hosts, Jose Rojas
Hello.
and myself, Daryl Rubio, where the purpose of this channel is to spread awareness of ska music and its subgenres to the world. Our guests today are Kay and Vinny from the Doomstompers from Queens, New York. Is that right?
Yes,
Correct.
indeed.
What's up?
Hello.
Thank you. We appreciate the time that you're taking to speak with us, to share your stories and your music with the ska community. Please tell us a little bit about yourselves, each of you, and your role in the band, please.
My name is Kay. I am originally from Philadelphia, but I live in Queens now. I'm 29. I don't know if that matters. And I said the singer. Did I say that?
I don't think you did.
I do that.
She's the
Okay.
singer. She stands up front, so the rest of us don't have to.
That's good. Someone's got to do it.
I'm Vinny. I'm 30 years old. I am born and raised in New York, Long Island specifically. I'm a Scorpio. I like long walks on the beach.
Oh, I'm a Virgo, and it is my season right now, actually.
It's almost your birthday coming up, right?
Yeah.
Well, happy early birthday. Sorry, Vinny, to cut you off there.
Not at all.
Okay.
So, what's the origin of the band's name, the Doomstompers?
So we were both kind of sitting around, may or may not have been stoned at the time, and going, "Hey, we should start a ska band," which is usually how that conversation starts. And like, what would we name it? And we're like,
Listening to MF Doom.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
is that where the helmet? That's the way the helmet's on the skanking guy.
Yeah.
the mask and thing. Because I want to meet all of the Rudies that like MF Doom, because there's got to be a lot of us, but I've only met a handful. And we're like, it was like the something, and we're like, well, like Moon Stomp, Skinhead Moon Stomp, that's cool. And I was like, wait, but like a ska punk band, it would have to be like a little darker. So like, what about like the Doom Stompers? And we both kind of just looked at each other like, huh, let's file that away for later. And
that was in October of 2024.
Yeah, and then
we kind of came with that.
Yeah, and I've been trying to start a ska band for many years and had about given up, and then tried to do something else for a little while, and I realized, hey, I want to play ska punk, so here we are, basically.
Nice.
That is good. Now we saw your band. Did they start last year, like you said, or was it earlier this year?
We
started.
We started in April. Was our first rehearsal, right? Or
no, we rehearsed in February and started kind of like bringing together this idea, or at least like trying out some different people on different instruments and just getting people to show up. And then once we kind of had our core, like 4, I made the first post on our Instagram. It was like April 22nd. And I just posted a flyer to our first show, which we booked without having a band. We were just like, yes, it was like, we had friends coming in from out of town who needed to play a show. And
shout out the Dirty Notion from Detroit.
And Vinny was just like, okay, I'll have a band by then.
They were like, we need a show, and they had booked my last band like a bunch of times. We were very prompt. We toured once a year, every year for the last few, and like they always took care of us. They always made sure we had a place to stay. They fed us, they paid us. So when they got in touch with me, they were like, hey, like, we're coming to New York, can you get us something? I was like, no matter what happens, you'll have a show. And I was just like, oh, this is an excuse for me to put myself in a high pressure situation and make a band. If not, I'll find somebody to play. But like, if everything goes according to plan, new band will play our first show on this day. And that was May 16th, Lagwagon Day for those who celebrate.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Nice.
I'm a fan of Lagwagon. Now, same question, just part two, basically on it. You told us a little bit about the formation of the band there. Can you describe your band's sound, please?
We've been
working on that.
Yeah. I mean, we've kind of come to the term punk rock steady because we definitely play a lot more reggae and, rock steady versus like your traditional like ska punk. So it's like, this is what it sounds like to us. instead of being just pigeonholed into like one specific sound, we have like a variety of things that we're trying to portray, but have it be cohesive at the same time. So it's like a learning curve, but also a really exciting process as well.
Yeah, basically, my beef for many years with a lot of ska punk bands is that they're neither ska nor punk enough, which, like, not to be all like pissing contest about it, but just like for my personal taste, like the Suicide Machines are like my favorite band, and I mean, I have tattoos of them and Operation Ivy and whatever, and like I'm like, the reasons that I like these bands, there's not a whole bunch of bands that sound like this. They're close, whatever, and I was just like, it'd be really cool if a band played a lot of like really thrashing, fast, high energy punk rock, but also then played reggae like the Agrolites do. So like as a mission statement, it's like those two things, and then throw like 10% of the fact that like we're based in like New York, and you just don't really get away from hip hop if you live here. I'm a huge hip hop fan, and just kind of like we want to sound like where we're from a little bit, just be like, yeah, don't get it twisted. We're very aware of the rich musical tradition where we inhabit, kind of thing,
Nice. Now,
Fun fact, I was the first person to ever book the Suicide Machines in Los Angeles.
Hell yeah,
Hell
man.
yeah.
That was back in '96.
Very cool.
Nice.
That's when I was born.
Okay.
Yeah.
The old man, you.
I know.
Our drummer played his first hardcore show with Gorilla Biscuits in Pittsburgh in 1987. So I've heard a few stories like that. Like,
yeah, definitely. I mean, they were here at A&M recording for the Destruction by Definition album, and I went to go see him at the studio, and recording, long durations of recording.
Yeah.
And so the guitarist at the time, Dan, they only played 5 songs. I had a show, I think it was 2 nights after when they were recording. It was Bucko 9, Less Than Jake, the Hippos, Suicide Machines, and somebody else. I forgot who. But they could only play 5 songs because Dan just couldn't play anymore. Just from recording. It was crazy, but it was so cool that they played.
Yeah, that's
sorry, off subject.
No, don't. I love that
shit. Sometimes in these interviews, I just go off on tangents and just about old shit.
No, well, we were talking about it beforehand, and Kay was like, "I don't know, like what are we going to talk about?" I'm like, "It's ska history. I was made for this interview. You want to talk about dates and times and bands and album credits? Oh my god,
we talk about anything.
Do that with me.
Any topic you guys want, throw out there. We talk about everything.
Yeah. So tell us about your first rehearsal. Where was it? What went wrong and what stuck?
So basically,
did you say stuck or stunk?
Stuck.
Yeah.
Stuck. Okay.
Was that Red Note?
Yeah, there's this place called Red Note Rehearsal Studio in Ridgewood.
It's like an hourly rental space for the community.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty inexpensive too. I mean, running at $20 an hour for New York is good stuff.
Yeah. But we had a point in time early on where like I asked a friend of mine who used to play in a band out here called In Circles. They're kind of on hiatus. Her name's Julie. If like she would just come and like hold the guitar while like me and the drummer, who has been playing in punk rock bands for almost 40 years. I'm like, will you play ska? And he was like, I don't know how to do that. I was like, okay, I can show you, but you just gotta like
trust the process.
Yeah, let's like get into a room, and that whole thing with like moving the bass drum to where it's not supposed to be. I've watched many a drummer go, damn it. So not to get too far down the rabbit hole there, we had a couple of weeks where we were meeting up every week, like the 3 of us, me, Kay, and our drummer's name is Coach, and the other people were just kind of like coming through who couldn't make it one week, who can make it another, and there was no like real set thing where I was like, okay, can I just get someone to come and play the show? Okay, we'll do that. And then we had like a group of people to do that. We rehearsed a couple times, and one by one they fell out until we were put in touch with our guitar player.
We bullied him.
Yeah, he lives very close to us.
3 blocks away.
Yeah, he lives very close to us, and I got in touch with him, and we're like, hey man, he plays everything. He's super talented. He's also like who did our recordings and everything, and like, hey man, I got this idea for this band, and like you're like real like would you play with us? You're really good. Like I feel like you'd like nail it. And he was like, I don't know, man. I'm really busy. Like I got these other things going on. My job is super hectic or whatever. So like, okay.
Right.
They kind of like look down, like kicking the okay. I know. That guy wouldn't play with us. Fast forward until like we're a month before the show. Guitar player drops out. Just everything like is looking like it's headed for the rocks. And I just texted him. I was like, "Hey man, I know you said you're like too busy, but could you just play this one show with us?" And he was like, "I was like, we had a guy fall through," and he was like, "Oh fuck, that's terrible." He was like, "Yeah, I got you guys." And then like we did it, and Kay was like, "I will." He is going to be the guitar player in the band. I was like, oh, okay. I mean, people say a lot of things, but she was right. She's usually right.
We just kept seeing him at every ska show, from the time that he said he couldn't do it. Then we saw him at the Slacker show, or no, that was in December.
No, we did keep
see him there,
bumping into each other, and then I ran into him on the train platform of all places, like a day after he told us he couldn't do it, and I was like, we like wound up walking home together. It was like really like cute, and I was like, yeah, so this band, this whole thing is a crazy thing. I don't know if you wanted to like maybe play with us or whatever. And then like once he like decided like, oh, this is like I'm gonna do this, like it kind of was just off to the races from there. It was a little bit of floundering in the beginning, but then we decided to record these songs basically to find a keyboard player because he still didn't have one of them. He played keyboard on both of those recordings, which he was like, "Oh, you mean like this?" I was like, "Yeah,
basically." That's cool, man. Yeah.
His name is Alon, and he is very talented.
Not Elon. Very important. Not Elon.
Ilan.
He made it a point to point that out the first time we met him. I was like, "Yes, I would do the same thing if I were you." And he could probably beat Elon in a fight too.
Yeah,
I think anybody can.
I feel as though we went off the rails. What were we talking about?
That's okay. That's
first rehearsal. Yeah.
Yeah.
I found that flyer just to show you.
Oh hell yeah!
That's rad.
I think it was '96. This is me back then, and still. Nice. So the releases that we know about for your band, the song Next Week, Superstitious, and I've heard there's a song called Stare at the Devil that still has not been released.
Yes.
What's happening with that?
So we are recording that this weekend, actually, on Saturday.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And with Alon, so he has his basement all retrofitted to be a recording studio, and he uses the space so adequately. And we're going to do it live to analog, right?
To tape.
To tape. You were right. I was almost right. And I think it's just gonna be good. We're recording 2 songs actually.
Yeah.
There's a full YouTube video of our Pioneer Valley set. Like if you wanted to hear some more stuff that we'll eventually be releasing as it goes. But we're recording Stare at the Devil and another song called Undertow. And the idea is I don't have a set release date. I can't wait to just hear it. That's why I'm like, I want to record it and I want to listen to it. But the idea is that we're going to release ourselves a 7-inch pressing of both of those songs so we can have some physical media.
Mm-hmm.
But probably Stare at the Devil will be released digitally before Supernova.
Yeah.
But Undertow, it's like you gotta buy the 7-inch if you want to hear it. You gotta keep it a little bit of a secret.
Yeah.
Why vinyl instead of like a CD or EP or something with those 2 songs and the other 2?
Ooh, I got this one. From the last few years of DIY touring, since new cars don't have CD players in them anymore, I've spent many an hour hand burning and stamping CDs, and they're good for like one thing. Coasters. They make really good coasters.
Not to me.
You can't give them away to like 90% of people. But if you have vinyl, people that collect vinyl will buy the vinyl just because they like to have vinyl.
Yeah.
So
but you still can't play the vinyl in the car either.
This is true. This is true.
No music for your car.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny because Joker's Republic has, when they were here a couple years back, they have a little USB with all of their
Yeah.
songs on it that you could just plug into the car too. That was a cool idea.
Yeah, that was a good idea. That should
Yeah.
could work nowadays. No.
It
Yeah.
does. Yeah.
Yeah.
I drive an '87 Monte Carlo, so I don't even have. I'm looking to get a tape deck, really.
Did you buy that off like an old gangster guy or something?
No, my uncle actually left it to me in his will. So.
Oh shit! I'm sorry.
No. It's all good. That's a whole tangent. Point being, drive an old car. What's your next question?
Well, they do have those.
I can feel her eyes on my head. Like, don't tell the whole story right now. Only have an hour.
Don't give them too much.
Well, they do have those FM transmitters that you could set up and then Bluetooth your phone or something to it. And
Yeah.
then you can stream whatever music you want. But yeah. So how does a Doomstomper song get created? Does it start with a riff or lyrics or?
It depends. It's kind of split between everybody. Next Week was like something that he had written years ago, like at least the guitar parts. And it was like, oh, these lyrics, maybe they'd work, maybe they don't. And he like played it for me, and I was like, hold up. And I basically, from the day I got sober until now, I have been like wrote this like continuous stream of consciousness about like all of my like process through it, and all of these things have now turned into material that is going to be on the album. And he played the music to what is now Next Week, and it was still Next Week, right? That was like the main riff when you had it.
Yeah, it was,
like that was the concept. The song was called Next Week. And I like took that and I matched it with something that I had. And then next thing we know, we're screaming next week, like all over the place.
it kind of
like I was doing earlier today.
No, it kind of fell together with like I said previously, like I was in an old band that was trying to do this, and then the whole time I kept like kind of compiling little like half ideas, but I wouldn't finish them because I didn't have a band, and I just like I was playing in other bands and traveling and doing the whole thing, and like when we sat down, I was like, oh, I kind of have a ton of ideas that are just kind of like lying in wait, but the thing I would usually get stuck on, ironically enough, when writing like ska music or ska punk or any of this kind of stuff, would be like lyrics or like hearing melodies or whatever. But like I could come up with the groove basically because I know like the way I want to hear it versus the way that I don't hear it or whatever. And it just kind of worked out. This is so corny, where it's like she is the other half, and it just kind of fit together. Where I'd be like, been playing this bass line for 10 years, and I'm just hitting my head against the wall. It's like, well, what if you sang this? I'm like, oh. Well, that was easy. What the hell? How come I couldn't think of that? But
But then my favorite process is for Undertow. I was taking a piss in the bathroom at work, and I sang into my phone the chorus, and I was like, I've had this stuck in my head for the last like 2 hours. I've got this idea, so I sang it into my phone at the bathroom at work. I was like, can you write like a guitar part to this for when I come home?
Hopefully you left a sample of the splashing.
Yeah.
It's nautical. You got to have a song about a boat. people like songs about boats and being adrift. I don't know. It never gets old.
Yeah, floating.
Now, your band has skyrocketed onto the ska scene. How does this feel in such a short time? Is it also overwhelming for your band?
Yeah, it's can I take this one?
You first.
Having been playing music for like 12 years, we're gonna say professionally, like actively trying to like play in bands and go on tour and all that. All of this stuff we're talking about right now mostly gets worked out in a practice space with 4 dudes long before anyone hears anything. Mm-hmm. And now doing it all in front of an audience, both digital or like physically, is a very strange new way of doing things, but it's cool. I feel very fortunate personally that anybody is wanting to talk to us or listen to the songs and stuff, and like it getting like any kind of good feedback is very cool. You know,
Hmm.
it's I you know I deign to say that we all are having a tinge of imposter syndrome, you know,
Oh
but
yeah.
because it's just like I have friends who've been doing this forever that are not getting to do the thing we're getting to do, and I am so grateful that I am getting to.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of surreal. This is my first band, so I don't have the like years of tour experience, but I have been a friend of the community for at least 10 years now, like romping around. I've gone to Supernova 4 or 5 times myself and Fest. And, like I said, I'm from Philly. I lived with Britt and Tim from Catbite. Like, those are my best friends. And I sold merch and I took photos and videos. If you've seen This Is New Tone, the documentary that Bad Time Records put out,
Hmm.
the first like 10-15 minutes, all that old footage from the first ever Bad Time tour, I took that.
Oh.
And I was just always there, and just like I didn't care what I was doing. I didn't care if I was being paid. I just wanted to be there and like have something to do and like have something to look forward to. And then finally, like I went through like this like unfortunate tragedy last year, and like my apartment burned down and I lost like all of my stuff, my
Oh
entire
no.
existence. And I was like, you know what? This is as good as a time as ever to just like try to start a band, because like
Hmm.
I've got nothing else to lose.
Mhm.
And again, we came to find each other and it just worked out. And now it's like the whole community, I spent years just like so honored just to like be friends with these people, had then lifted us up like immediately. Like I posted our first tour fly or our first show flyer, and like it was like there was 6,000 views on it in like
Wow.
24 hours. I was like, holy shit.
That's
as,
awesome.
as if you haven't been able to realize this, I don't know how you wouldn't. If you've looked at any of our social media, she is our social media guru. I don't understand it. I don't necessarily want to understand it. I now see the error in my ways of many years of not understanding it. And yeah, it's good. It's good. It's
I sometimes,
I credit
sometimes, yeah, I'm sorry.
most of
Sometimes I forget that people are so many hours ahead of us, and like Kay is like answering my text at like 2 in the morning over there. So
Yeah.
she's all over it, and she responds like pretty quickly, which is awesome. And I'm sorry, Vinny, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
no. I was rambling. I needed to.
It's awesome, but
Yeah.
I could definitely be on my phone less, I suppose.
Yeah, it's
but like my catchphrase, I always like to say, I'm nasty with an iPhone. And I went to art school, and like and selling myself, and like this like idea of things is like when I was going to art school, it was basically like start archiving every single thing you do digitally,
Hmm.
because that's what people want. They want to be a part of the process. And
Mhm.
so kind of starting this band and like like being so new and gaining so much traction so fast, it's kind of like allowing anybody that listens to us to also be a part of the process.
Hmm.
And it's like we're all doing this together, guys. I'm figuring it out, you're figuring it out. I don't know when the song's gonna come out, but soon.
uh, it's I've been like I was making the joke for many months. It's like I'm doing the George Costanza. It's like every time I think something's right, I do the opposite. You know? It's like, see, I thought you stay and you slave in the fucking in the room until you get everything just right, and then you go and you show it to the people. It's like no.
No, no, no.
That half cooked idea, camera. It's like, oh, okay, cool, and yeah, I've never been happier to be wrong about something, I suppose. Yeah, I don't know.
That's awesome.
Nice. So now you told us about your first gig. Now, was it a success or a failure? How'd it go?
Bro. Okay, it was at okay. I'll pat ourselves on the back for this one. I'm so proud of it.
Yeah.
I like it could not have gone better. And we had first of all, killer lineup. Our buddy Joe Mercado opened it up, folk punk artist. And then the Dirty Notion played, and then us. We went third. And then we had Hedzo headlining, which was also a new band, and it was also their first show.
Oh.
So it was like a double whammy, like just like everybody was so excited to be there because it was like this like new thing. And it was a free show as well. Just a bucket went around for donations or whatever, and we gave all of it to the Dirty Notion.
Nice.
Yeah, we paid everybody something, but they got the lion's share of it. And you know, we're not going to give away any numbers because it's just, you know, it's not really germane to the situation. But when I told them how much money we made from passing a bucket, they went, "Oh, wow, thanks." But it was.
Yeah, it was at Otto's Shrunken Head in the Lower East Side of Manhattan, which is like punk rock tiki bar. It's been around for like 30 years now.
I'm well aware of that with DJ Ryan Midnight.
Ryan Midnight, yeah.
He's got a good thing going there.
Yeah.
Every month he's got, you know, his thing going on there, or every couple.
Ryan is an anomaly of a human being in so many ways. In the fact that since I've been going to ska shows, he has been having that thing every month without fail, and like he doesn't look one iota withered by the ordeal of booking a ska show once a month every month. Like I've booked a lot of shows, I've helped a lot of people out, I've booked shows out of state, the whole thing, and like it will age you, it will make you insane. Musicians are babies, I can say that from personal experience. And that dude just is never got a bad word to say about anybody, and just perpetually like just for the love of the game. Very much, you know.
We got to meet him a couple years ago at Supernova. I had lunch with him, and it was cool to kind of pick his brain a little.
Yeah, he's just such a great guy, dude. Such a great guy.
Yeah, we stand Ryan in this house.
Yeah, we unfortunately we haven't. I don't think I've ever played a Subway to Skaville show. Actually, I've attended many of them. It just for whatever reason, like I said, it was never in a ska band, or when I was, it never lined up. We've been working on it. We're gonna try and make it happen eventually. But
what were we talking about?
We're talking about the first show.
First gig. How
gross. If it was ticketed, sold out.
Yeah.
Oh, did it? How big was the venue?
I think you can fit 80 people in that room, maybe max. And there was 80 people in the room, and then maybe another like 30 outside the hallway. Like they had the back doors open, and people were like spilled into there.
Wow.
It was like the most insane feeling, because the whole time I was just like, ah.
Yeah,
I saw that. So that's on your Instagram.
Yeah.
There's a picture of the hallway going in.
Yeah,
that's for your Instagram. Okay, I saw that. Yeah.
How neat is that? It was definitely. I've seen shows like very well attended shows there. I've been to well attended shows there. I've seen shows with 8 people there. I've never seen that many people at once for a ska show that wasn't like Subway to Skaville thing is like a very established thing. This was just like. We had some people
together. Yeah.
Wow, it sold out. Wow.
Yeah. I mean,
in theory, like there weren't, it was free, but if it was a ticketed thing, it 100% would be.
Yeah.
Plus she got Kay is a celebrity bartender in Williamsburg. So, all of her friends, it was like, oh, okay, we'll be there. It's like a very, like the service industry community type thing is very strong. But one other thing I wanted to say about the lineup on the first show, it was very much a family affair. Like everybody or like friends. The bass player in Hedzo is a good friend of ours. He used to play in the Pandemics, and then I was in the Pandemics, and then he was in the Pandemics again, and now we're both not in the Pandemics. But he recorded a couple of records for my last band, and the main songwriter in that band is I can't remember his name. His name is Chris. I don't know. The Mad Conductor, the dude from Mad Conductor. That's like his new band. I don't know if you guys have heard those records or whatever from back in the day. It's like a ska, hip hop, punk rock kind of thing. But like if you like mashed like Toots, Operation Ivy, and Nas together,
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one of those like if you know kind of things. And I don't even really know that much. It's just, But they were cool. Just kind of like snotty punk rock band,
Earlier, when you said there was a bucket being passed around, I thought you were talking about Bucket from the Toasters was going around. Is that your show going around collecting money for people for you? It's like, damn, you guys are already there. Yeah, Bucket working for you already?
Yeah, no, Imagine that.
Yeah.
And we're playing with the Toasters.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lead in there.
Now,
You guys have done this before.
the Supernova Ska Festival, Saturday night. You guys are playing kind of in the middle of the set there.
We're
We're
playing.
playing. So there's.
Oh, you're so excited to talk.
No.
Tell us.
We are playing second.
Yeah, we're before Stop the Presses.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
See, what had happened was the Kay became pretty friendly with the Chains through the internet because we were like checking out the bands that are coming in or whatever, and she had like posted something with one of their songs, and we got to talking, and then
now we're homies.
yeah, and they were basically like, "Hey, we really like you guys. Like, if we can't get in with the visa situation, like we're gonna say like you guys should play." And
unfortunately, that is what happened.
Yeah. Well.
So,
Yeah.
but also apparently we did get the nod from he said
Tim.
Buck, but I don't know if he was talking about Bud,
Yeah,
the stage
Bud
manager who plays with the Loving Paupers and Bumpin'
Love the
Uglies
Loving
and
Paupers.
a bunch of other people. That guy. So when they started to make the announcements that like some bands weren't going to be able to get in, like we were like, oh, it'd be so cool to play Supernova. Like, yeah, you and every other ska band that's been to it. It was like, yeah, that would be awesome. Like, and I'm the cynic, so I'm like, yeah, that'd be cool. Never gonna happen. And then she like woke me up. She was like, hey babe.
It was 8:50 in the morning.
Yeah, I was like, you want to play Supernova? Like, get the fuck out of here. So yeah. But Stop the Presses are also good friends. They're from out here, and me and Danny did a couple of mercenary tours in Public Serpents as hired guns. We went to Europe together a couple of years ago, so that guy is family to me. So getting to share the stage with them is awesome, and I know that when he sees it, like, oh yeah, sure, you guys playing after us. That's crazy, but we're not.
We're not. It was just an honest mistake.
I think what happened was someone said, hey, these bands aren't going to play and these bands are gonna, so they just plugged it in on the flyer. The Chains.
Got it. Okay. That's because I was thinking, you guys got a pretty good slot right there in the middle. But
well, to be on the festival is to have a good slot.
I know. I was happy to be here.
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter. Just playing the festival, you've already made it.
Yeah.
Because we interviewed Tim.
Oh, go ahead.
So we interviewed Tim a few weeks ago. I don't remember when we. No, that was last week. I don't remember. He was saying he gets at least 600 to 700 submissions every year.
Yeah, I believe that.
That is insane. I didn't even know there's that many bands.
Yeah, that's a bunch.
Yeah.
Wow.
We weren't even a band when submissions were open, probably. Truthfully.
Yeah, because he starts it like a couple weeks after, or like a week after, I think he was saying.
Yeah.
For the next year.
Mm-hmm.
We went to Supernova last year, and I remember being all like, yeah, new love, and watching the Agrolites or something, and being like, man, we really we gotta do something.
Well, no, people kept walking up to Kay because everyone knows Kay. I'm just some guy. Everybody knows Kay. And they're like, hey, where's your band? When are you gonna have a band? Where's your band? And then like after like the fourth one, I just kind of looked. I was like, I guess we got to start a band. Like it seems like we're missing out on what the people are telling us that we should start a band. I'm listening to the universe here a little bit,
Yeah.
That's
nice.
So my last part of the question there, sorry. Which bands on Supernova are you most excited to see?
I feel like I need to pull up all the flyers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was actually just doing this earlier.
I'm a visual person.
Yeah.
Same.
Definitely Stop the Presses, Loving Paupers.
Yes.
Bedouin Sound Clash. I want to see the Flatliners play the ska punk record. That's going to be cool.
Love the Flatliners, the Abrupters.
Killer.
Everybody's good.
Yeah, no, it's
Catch
really
22. We just played with them at Pioneer Valley Ska Festival. Same with Sergeant Skag. Spring Hill Jack was there as well. Hub City Stompers are our homies. Cables and Lions Bridge we love.
Yeah.
We're gonna see Hub City on Friday here.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah.
Jenny might or might not end up on our record. She's she's a very busy lady, but she's like has been hearing it and when we got the announcement, her and Kat, the drummer from Rude Girl Review, and the Lady Hatchet Quartet, they both texted us. They're like, "Hey, congrats, guys! That's awesome." I was like, "Cool that they reached out."
Nice.
We're actually doing a weekend of shows with them in October too. We're playing in Connecticut and Philly, so that's gonna be fun.
And so, Kay, when you first got that call, did you jump up a few feet in the air for the supernova call?
Well, it's like I'm looking at the email and I'm like,
am I being punked?
yeah. Well, it's like again, we use the term imposter syndrome, right? But in the reality is, it's like I almost can't believe it myself. Like I don't know what part of my brain is like fighting against me at the time because it's just like I'm like, man, I feel like I don't deserve it because like we just started and like I'm just like like I constantly like I'm yelling into the abyss. But I obviously was excited and again I like woke him up and I was like, get up, babe, get up. We're playing Supernova.
And then so then Johnny Cynic was like, "Hey, we should probably see if the rest of the band can do it because we like because we like finally got the calendar situation sorted and we kept being like, okay, so there's this festival this weekend and we're gonna try and get it or we're gonna try and get an after party or but like don't like plan." Don't plan anything on this weekend. I'm like, ideally, even if we weren't playing it, like, you should all come to the festival, come see the bands, do the thing. It'll be a good time. I was like, we'll be there regardless, whatever. But like, and then, it kept getting closer and we're like, like, so what's up with that weekend, guys? I'm like, just don't plan anything on that weekend. Like, and then like, it got to be like, it's like 2 weeks, well, I mean, it's coming
2
up
weeks
and
ago.
yeah. And we're like, it's like a month out. Like if it didn't happen yet, it's not happening. Like, and people are so like, yeah, we're probably not going to get that. And then like the next day, the next morning email, I'm like, shit. So I was like, can everybody do it? And it's like,
yeah.
Okay, so we're doing this. I mean, we were never not doing it. That was kind of the consensus. It was like, there's no way I get this email and I say no. It's just not possible,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was definitely kind of crazy. I mean, we glossed over the last piece of the formation thing, which was that one of her very old friends who still lives in Philadelphia, when we were looking for a keyboard player, like in earnest, was like posted himself playing, and she was like, "Hey, you should join my band." And he was like, "Love the narrative." So he once again, all of this is Greek to him. He's very DIY punk rock, ska punk, the whole thing, and he's just like super into it and like just learning, figuring out new things. So like when we made those recordings, it was something of like a proof of concept kind of thing, and then like everything very shortly thereafter just kind of like tumbled into place where it's like, okay, this is the group of people, we're going to make songs, we're going to play shows, we're going to do things, and now like we're just kind of like going down the list of like things we wanted to have happen, and it's just kind of working, which is awesome, because so often things just don't for reasons beyond anyone's control.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I know when all the bands started dropping out and stuff like that, because we knew we were interviewing a lot of the bands, so we knew a lot of the bands were having visa issues. So I know on Sunday, I said, if something, I emailed Tim, I said, if something happens on Sunday, I'm going to submit my band to see if they'll do it. Of course, he chose Jokers, which not mad at. I love those guys, but it's really hard to get on the show.
Yeah.
For the festival.
I feel very blessed. Also super stoked for Jokers Republic. We played our second show ever with them at Arlene's Grocery. Also very well attended. They're great people. I love the new stuff that they're putting out. So, and me and Austin, I'm a little bit older than him, but we're in the younger generation of the music. And like, he texted me the other day. It was just like, he's like, look at us out here doing the damn thing. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah, we saw him a couple of times out here in LA, which was awesome. I mean, those guys are great, so it's good to see them. And then we saw Austin at Supernova. He was just hanging out a couple of years back when I was there.
Yeah, I saw my career done. He was playing for another band, in another band. Yeah.
Oh,
so,
was he?
Yeah. So how long before you felt like this is a real band? Was there a specific show, recording, or moment?
Probably our first show.
Yeah, probably.
Like the last note of the song finished, and like I said, this is like my first band, right? So we finished, and once like all of like the excitement and nerves calmed down, I was like, okay, I can do this. I did not shit the bed.
Right. Yeah.
Because that was really it. I like the last time I had performed live was probably like drunk karaoke.
Oh,
So I was like, after we did it, and I was like, okay, we all looked at each other. We're like, this works. We're doing it.
Mhm.
nice.
I feel as though I'm still in one gigantic fever dream, so I'll get back to you on the real thing. It's certainly real. It's happening. I'm looking. We've done it, and now we're talking about it. So that by every conceivable metric, it's real.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's real. Now I know you touched base on the. I'm sorry. Were you done with your question?
Oh yeah, no, go ahead.
Anyone? Okay. So the upcoming show, it's a string of shows you have with the Lady Hatchet Quartet, right?
Mhm.
Not just one. Okay, 2 shows.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's in your general vicinity, right?
It's actually gonna be, relatively speaking, yes.
Close enough.
Yeah,
Connecticut
and Philly.
and Philly.
So kind of a new territory, maybe that you haven't played before.
Yeah, and everything's new. Shit.
We've not played either of those places. I've played Connecticut once and Philadelphia years ago with different bands, but it's been a long while. So
The place for playing in Philly too was not there when I was there. I've been living in New York for 5 years now. I came here during COVID. And so I'm excited to play this like new spot too. Like when we first got the offer, I was like, I've never heard of this place. And then I looked into it. I was like, oh, okay. This is actually a really cute spot. It's in Port Richmond.
Jess from Ska History hooked it up. Shout out, Jess.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah. We talk to them sometimes.
Yeah.
We got some good stuff going on there.
Yeah, that was our first video interview.
Yeah, the first person to ever interview us was Jess at Pioneer Valley. That was our first test of us all speaking at the same time.
Her last name's Grossman, right? Jess
Yeah.
Grossman?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I text back and forth with her sometimes. Yeah, they're cool. I love that thing that they did at Croydon.
Croydon.
They did at Croydon. They did the recordings of the bands live there. So I have a ska festival in October. I know I talked to Kay about it, but we're doing the exact same thing, which is awesome. And I got the idea from them, which is awesome. So thank you, Jess.
Hell yeah.
Yes, thank you, Jess.
We were at Croydon, and Kay was doing merch for Westbound Train, and it was like the day after we like recorded the songs, like nobody had heard them yet, and we were both just like, yeah. So we did the thing, and we made the songs. The band's coming together, the whole thing, and everybody was like, pretty jazzed. But I just had a crazy moment because like when I started my first band in 2013 with like my best friend, we were like listened to Transitions, the Westbound Train record, like 1,000 fucking times, and we were just like so into it and like just like studying it and trying to kind of like figure it out. So to be standing there and have Obi be like, "Oh, you got a band?" They're like, "Yeah, we got these things."
Headphones in.
And it's
He's like airdrop it to me.
I'm like, "Oh yeah." I'm like, what the fuck is going on right now? Am I awake?
And then he sits there and listens to what was the first like copies of Next Week and Superstitious, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, it was just such like cool. a bizarre like thing, and totally just kind of was like, yeah, man, do it. Sounds good. Like just totally like positive and like with like really genuine feedback, which is just it's so hard to get people to like listen intently to anything. So like for that to happen that instantly was like very, very cool.
Yeah. I've been friends with them for a bit now. I'm trying to see if I can pull it up really fast on my phone, but there's like this one group shot of them they use often that I took like 4 years ago. Oh yeah, they're Camp Pennsylvania. This is gonna look nothing like this on the camera. This photo, I took it.
Oh, cool. Cool.
That was like 4 or 5 years ago in Gideon's studio, and then a year and a half ago, Obi asked me to do merch for a Westbound show, and this one ended up coming to it to like
I was courting her.
Yeah, I know.
Or as her friend put it, who's the stray?
Yeah.
Grace of Spades, ladies and gentlemen. Grace of Spades.
My girl, my best Virgo queen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm afraid I forget what we were talking about again.
Croydon Fest,
Croydon.
Magazine, Westbound Train.
Yeah,
That's
you
my
may
training.
see us there.
Yeah.
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 We'll be around.
We'll be
Maybe.
around.
Yeah. So you talked about was it a new week or was it? I'm sorry. Yeah, next week that you had it a long time ago. Is there any other track that changed over time from the start?
Superstitious as well.
I mean, they really most of them were just kind of like demos of like ideas, like we're having like one, like that was a song that was finished, but like Superstitious was a riff that I had, and I was like, oh, this is a Rocksteady song. I'm like, I don't know what it's about, I don't know what the vocals sound like, but like this piece is there, and I got like most of it, and then like I played it for Kay, and she was like, took it home,
spit out the chorus.
and it was like, okay, this is a song that sounds like a song, like one that people would listen to. All right, cool, let's finish it. And then we had that conversation with the drummer about that. No, don't hit the bass drum on the one. And then he went, that's stupid, that doesn't make any sense, no one does that, I've never seen that before. And then he did it, and now we have a song, so it's cool.
Cool, nice.
Now, I was looking at the video of next week. Where it was filmed, is this somebody's recording or rehearsal space?
That's Alon, our guitar player's basement, where we recorded our songs at. Yeah.
Very nice, very nice. So that's the place now, right? That's where the magic happens.
We are so fortunate, and like he produced, mixed, whatever the terms are, of both of our songs, and they sound incredible.
We sound great. No, I know that's not what you're saying. But.
Like, no, the quality of the recordings, like everything sounds spot on. Like, we were so lucky that he likes us and wants to be our friend.
No, it really is like, from having done the DIY thing, and like I went to school for audio engineering and like, did it, we'd have practices and constantly setting up microphones and doing the whole thing. And it's like, yeah, it works and you can get something usable, but like to have it where like everything is so dialed in to have like the desired result and like to just hit it, like she was saying, is like we were recording those songs basically to kind of find a keyboard player to be like, okay, so like this is what we sound like, not on an iPhone, and we're like, we're gonna record these and just kind of like maybe email them around or send them to whoever to be like, no, like we with no wrong notes, no whatever. And then we finished them and we got the mixes back. And we're like, no, we can put these out. These sound like songs. Okay, cool. Let's do it. And that was kind of,
boom.
Mm-hmm. Boom.
Really, kind of went that way.
Nice.
Yeah. But he's like our buddy Josh, who plays in a band called Heavy Leg, was like, oh, Alon, that guy's a wizard. The wizard, bro. And I'm like, it's accurate. He really did. He's kind of just got like a finesse about it that is,
He also works as a boom operator in the film industry, so he knows a thing or two about sound.
Yeah, he's
definitely great to have those people around.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So which track surprised you by becoming a fan favorite? Why do you think that happened? And when
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah. Which track surprised you by becoming a fan favorite, and why do you think it happened?
Superstitious is much more popular than Next Week. At least if I had to go by the analytics of like all the streaming platforms.
Mm-hmm.
But also, Superstitious went around the globe. Like, Do the Dog Radio played it once, and now like all of our streams are coming from everywhere now.
Oh.
So shout out to them. But that's like Next Week was like, I'm like, this is a song I'm gonna write about bartending, and then Superstitious was like the feel good song of the summer. So I'm not surprised that it did better, I suppose, or they're both good, I guess.
Yeah, I think the thing about it is that like, to her point is like, calling it punk rock steady, not calling it just ska punk, is it's like, oh yeah, we'll do that, and then you hear Next Week, it's like, okay, well this is a ska punk song by like in almost a paint by numbers sort of sense, which I don't say that to begrudge anything. I'm not personally very interested in reinventing the wheel. I know the things I like the way they sound, and I just kind of want to keep making them. If that's derivative or boring, whatever. I never claimed to be original, uh, but Superstitious is by any measure is a Rocksteady song. So if you're a purist, which I'm friends with many of them, and on occasion can even be one, like that is Rocksteady with a capital R down to every piece of it. So like if you're not interested in ska punk, you'll probably like that. It can get spun with the next to the other stuff that the people that are keeping it real traditional. So
Yeah.
We've got a huge traditional ska scene here, and I call it, there's a lot of traditionalists, which we used to have it back in the day where we used to mix the music together.
Yeah.
Not so much nowadays. Right? Like when we went to the Prize Fighter show, Jose,
Yeah.
it's a different vibe than some of the other shows.
The LA
Love the
Music
prize
Festival.
fighters.
Yeah.
Love the prize
Yeah.
fighters.
Oh yeah, great guys.
So good. I listen to Aaron sing, and I'm like, man, I wish I could write songs like you. What the hell?
Yeah, they're so good. I love that.
Yeah.
What is it? Something time, company time.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
such a good.
That you ought to know. No, you never know.
Time.
Yeah, you never know. The second song on the Firewalk record is like pound for pound one of the best ska songs of the last 20 years. It kind of, and they don't play that like every time I've seen them. I'd be like, hey, play that one, and I'm like, why do you not play that every time? It's such an earworm, but they all are. But it's just like I don't know. There's something about that song that's just like, I don't know, man. If you can't groove to this, you're dead. I don't know what to tell you.
Right.
Like if this doesn't work for you, we can't be friends.
Yeah, they were awesome.
Yeah, I love the guitar player. And also, he was just like plucking, like just giving that texture. Like it was all crisp too. Oh man, yeah.
I remember actually talking to them at Supernova. They're like, yeah, we'll come in with ideas or whatever, and then we'll bring it, and then like Aaron will hear it, and he'll be like, yeah, that's cool, but what if we changed almost the whole thing? And we're all like, and then he's right, and we're all like, damn it, he's right again.
That's the coolest thing about the scene is a lot of people just help each other out, which is awesome. Now we touched base briefly, or you touched base briefly, Vinny, on Bucket and Playing with the Toasters. That's going to come up for the Moon Records 40th anniversary show. Playing with Your Friends and Stop the Presses. Pilfers are finally going to come back and play. We know Cooley. How excited are you guys to be playing this show for the Moon Records thing? Because that was a big thing back when I was listening. Well, when I was younger. How is it to be able to be asked to play this show?
I mean, again, one of those things where it's just like, whoa, he's pointing at me.
That's because that's why we got it. Cooley knows Kay and was like,
yeah, that's why.
Yeah, I've got a Rocksteady crop top.
No, well, what had happened was we played the Pioneer Valley Ska Fest, and we had seen him around like in the city and like at various shows or whatever, and he'd always say hello and just like, hey, I got a band. And then he came up he got a table at the festival, and it was 2 days, it's Friday and Saturday, and on the Friday I sing in an Operation Ivy cover band, and we opened the first day, which was really cool to get to do. And he's there, and he comes, hey, how you doing? He's like, hey, I got a table to see your band. And she's like, coolly, we play tomorrow. And he's like, oh, I can't be here tomorrow. And it was just like, oh. So then so he still hasn't gotten.
Cooley hasn't seen us yet.
Yeah. So I guess he was like, and he just hit us on Instagram like a few days or a week later, and he was like, hey, I'm thinking about doing this show and getting the original lineup back together, and I'm like floating this date. Would you guys be available? And I was like,
yep.
Yeah, sure.
Of course.
Awesome. And and he said, he's like, it might not happen. I don't know. Like, I got to see if everyone's around. And then it just kind of, fell into place.
I'm sure he's going to jump on and do some vocals with the Toasters like he used to back in the day.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it. I haven't seen the Toasters in a couple of years, but I got to play with them on Long Island a couple of times, and there's speaking of moon ska, I played bass, or I do play bass only every so often, but with the Blue Beats, who were I'm pretty sure on moon ska back in the day.
Uh-huh.
They needed a bass player once upon a time a few years ago. I think 2019 it started, and Glenn Hackett, who plays with the Rocksteady Seven, sometimes just like we would see each other around. I'd go to Rocksteady Seven shows, and I was trying to start a ska band, and I was just like, "Hey, can you teach me how to play drums like that? Because like it's the only thing I can't do." And he was like, "Yeah, whatever." And then like if you're ever looking, know anyone looking for a bass player, like I'd love to. And I just got a Facebook message one day that was like, "Hey, the Blue Beats are looking for one. You're from Long Island, right? You're out there." And I was like, "Yeah." At the time, I crossed the county line, which was the best thing that ever happened to me. But so like kind of through like a roundabout way, I was like, "Oh yeah," and like getting to talk to those guys, I'm like, "Man, what do you mean you toured England with Laurel Aiken? Like, what the fuck, huh?" Like, so the ska nerd in me is very excited to be included in this. And the Abrupters are another newer great band.
The show is New York as hell.
Uh-huh. And it better be.
Yeah, that's what I'm like pumped for, is like to get like my first experience of that. Like, I've seen, again, I've only been in New York for 5 years, but since then I've gone to as many ska shows as I could have possibly gone to. So now to be doing this it's really a treat. And I'm super pumped for it.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Are the Fensick playing too?
No.
Because I'm surprised because Mark Wasserman from Bigger Thomas from New York is in that band. So you'd figure,
We're playing with the Fensick at Scottish Dave's with Lady Hatchet.
Yeah.
Oh, got it. Okay.
And
that's awesome.
And Honeychild used to, or is still in a band called Backslider that are like a spooky, dark, new wavy kind of punky band from New York. We played with my old band played with them a couple times, so it's cool that they're like doing the ska thing now as well. So it's just like it's very full circle. Like
everybody wants a piece.
Yeah,
it's always cool when like you jump genres or scenes or whatever, and then you run into other people that are just like into all the same stuff also, where it's like, okay, we're kind of like all pulling from the same bags here, where it's like, okay, you want it to be fast and loud but also a groove. Yeah, me too. Cool. So like
it's almost like that whole Kevin Bacon thing. You guys know that?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like everybody knows something. Oh, well, you find out who through this other person. Touching on Cooley, we got Cooley coming out here in October.
Oh, right on.
For the festival, yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be selling the ska tins. He's going to be selling your Rocksteady crop top.
So you can also get one.
Yeah. I don't know how that would look on me.
You'll look great.
I'll get the ones, those little tiny shorts that Brittany wears.
I can't. They're so small. I was like, Cooley. Come on.
I know there's a lot of pictures that he sends.
In a past life, he was marketing Budweiser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buy my merchandise, and beautiful women will fawn over you.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Because you like ska. It's like it's a leap.
That was a great thing that he started. I love that.
I love it too.
So how hard is it to come up with a set list for a show, and especially for this Supernova show?
Well, it's pretty easy because we only have the amount of songs that is a perfect set. So we rock 9 songs in 28 minutes, and it grooves.
No covers?
No covers, yeah.
We have one cover.
We got a couple. Maybe we have a couple tricks up our sleeve. Who knows?
Supernova is going to be crazy, and like I cannot say a single thing about it. So you just gotta watch it. You gotta be there.
We're gonna be there with our press passes and bothering everybody.
Yes,
awesome.
You're in for a real treat. Like I said, there's no gossip. Cannot say a single thing, but everybody is in for a treat.
We could tell you, but then there wouldn't be anyone new. Be as New York as possible about it. Then
that's awesome.
There ain't no problem.
Awesome.
Now, is there any influence that the Interrupters have on your music? Because I've heard a little bit of a little interrupters thing there.
Mm-hmm.
In short, no, zip, zilch, nada. No, I'm just
I
being
mean,
goofy. We would love to open for them anytime.
I can see where you're coming from because like Amy and I have that like lower range and the like Tim Armstrong rasp.
Well,
She's an
it was
alto, like,
more than
I'm
your
an
voice.
alto.
It was more about some of the music, like a little bit of the keys, kind of had that feel. So
no,
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just goofing around. I to be honest with you, I know the Interrupters because I've seen them. I've heard they've been played for me.
Billy Cottage is a friend of mine. He's their trombone player.
mhm.
They're you know, everybody I know that listened to ska for that 2 weeks in 1997 and still was like, "Oh, you're into that? Hey, have you heard the Interrupters?" I'm like, "Man, it must be nice to have major label money. That's got to be cool." So it's one of those things that, like, by osmosis, I've heard a lot of, but I don't think I've ever sat down and listened to a whole record. Everything I've heard, I like. I mean, they're a good band. Those guys are all very talented. Those folks, rather, not all. They're not all guys, but as far as like, I'm gonna the Interrupters. Yes, I will write songs. That's not really where it's come from. As of late, who knows? 2 weeks from now, I'm gonna be like, "Hey, that's something. Let's go for it."
Yeah, I hope you didn't take offense to that.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Okay.
That's good company to have.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Now, can you tell?
Hope to aim more for the Skints, if I'm being honest.
Oh yes. Oh God, love
them.
I saw them a couple years back over here in Hollywood.
So good.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Now, can you tell us a little bit more about the song "Superstition"? It talks about being in a relationship, I believe, right? And what does it?
Yeah, the relationship that I'm regarding to was like my relationship with alcohol.
Oh,
So
okay.
when I took that out of my life, I like when we play the song live, like the blib I give before it, I usually say, I'm like, so everybody here experiences FOMO, right? Like the fear of missing out.
Mhm.
And that's what I'm talking about in the song, really, is like I got rid of this bad relationship with alcohol. And then I felt like I was scared to like go out and have fun because I felt like I was missing out on something, right? So the words like I've been feeling superstitious on all of the fun that I've been missing. So it's like that. But then also with like what comes with good relationships is like now that I've taken the bad thing out of my life, it's allowed me to love other people, love myself more. So like that second part of the chorus where it says, well, I'd rather be reminiscing of all the times that we're kissing. It's like, I'd rather focus on all of the good that has come since I took away the bad, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that you touch base on the Pioneer Ska Festival. Were there a lot of bands that you maybe even haven't heard of or even ever played with that was at that show?
I think it was like 50-50, like a lot of bands I hadn't seen yet. So like in the realm, like there was like Left Hand Hot Dogs, Army of Darkness had the reunion, which, I never thought would be a thing. I had seen the Abrupters before at Pooza Fest, but this was the first time I was like really there and present. And that was exciting.
Most of the bands on the bill, with the exception of like a couple of our friends' bands like played, and like Catch 22 and drawing a blank here. Why am I drawing a blank?
Spring Hill Jack, River City Rebels.
Yeah, Spring Hill Jack, and there's one
the
Pomps. Oh my God, the Agonizers. Thank you.
There we go.
God,
Yeah.
The Agonizers. Like I had played with them before, my other band, and like, but there was a lot of things where we're like looking at them like she's at Left Hand Hot Dog. We're like, oh,
they fucking ripped.
They were so good, and we're like, these fucking names are ridiculous. And then they get on stage, it's like, damn.
They were making hot dogs on a grill
They
during
were.
their set.
They were.
What? No
and
way.
handing them out to the fans?
Incredible.
Yeah, it was.
Their sax player was on stilts. I was like, this is the performance I need.
Oh yes, I've seen that on socials. Yes.
Yeah,
What is going on?
That's killer.
The Best of the Worst was the name I was looking for the whole time.
Big homies.
They're like them I had seen before. Kay is tighter with all of those folks, and they actually roundabout way all knew Alon, our guitar player,
They
from
all
years.
grew up together in New Jersey.
Yeah, like from years earlier. So it was just kind of like he's like, yeah, ska band, and then he's like, oh yeah, and I was like, oh hey, this guy, and it's just like, but you've always been here. What the hell, like every time I try to get out,
They pulled me
they
back
pull
in.
me back in.
Now you mentioned River City Rebels. That's Dan's band from Square Roots, right? From up here.
Yeah, and also they started Steppin' Razor Blades, right? Which is
Oh,
kind of this like both played Pioneer, and they were basically the same members of each band, but like River City Rebels being more punk forward and Steppin' Razor Blades being more like ska forward.
got it.
But yeah, that was the first time I had met him, and super nice guy. Had really great things to say about us.
Yeah, Square Roots was pretty big back in the early '90s, late '80s over here. They're one of those bands.
When our drummer saw the flyer, he was like, "Oh, River City Rebels, I remember those guys." And then it's like, oh, and then going back further is like, oh yeah, that's pretty rad.
The connection, right?
Yeah. So can you tell us what the lyrics mean in the song Next Week? One line says, "You don't think you will make it."
Oh, okay, I can fire them off. So I'll go chunk by chunk and try to be as quickly as possible. So the first line of the song is "Behind the stick, I'm sick of it, all dried up, still full of shit." The stick is often referred to the bar, like the bar top. So again, to all these themes of sobriety, like I said, I wasn't kidding. I made one long stream of consciousness, and then I turned it into all of these songs. And from there, it's just like about going to work and not wanting to be there. So like, one more shift and I've gone complacent. How much longer can I take it? One more shift and then it's time to face it. I don't think I'm gonna make it. Like it's all about like the bleak, mundane shit that we all do every day, and just hoping that the next week is gonna be a little less bleak.
Well, I love it. It's such a
that one picture
song.
of Ben Affleck smoking a cigarette, where he's just like, oh, God. It's that basically, it expanded upon.
Nice.
Jose loves to analyze the songs, the lyrics and stuff like that with the bands.
Yeah,
he's good with that.
I'm happy to talk about it. Somebody came up to me at our Arlene show and basically nailed it. He like came up to me and he was like, "Hey, so I'm picking up on themes of sobriety," and I was like, "Well, ding, ding, ding."
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, what bands did you first hear about when each of you started learning about the ska genre?
I was like, I mean, everyone's going to say Op Ivy. I really loved Rancid. My mom made me go to a week-long music camp when I was a kid. And music has always been a part of my life. This may be my first band, but it is not my first musical endeavor. And we each got to pick a song to do, and I chose Time Bomb by Rancid. And I was 12 years old.
Have you ever heard the Aquabats do their version of that?
Yeah.
I guess the short answer would be I heard the Suicide Machines first because of Tony Hawk, but I didn't know what it was. It wasn't until I was in probably the 5th or 6th grade. I had an older cousin who had a friend who gave him a couple of CDs, and that was where I first heard Real Big Fish and Catch 22. And I heard about this band called Operation Ivy that were like, like that, but like different. And I found my way to that eventually, and probably in middle school. And I could just remember, like, I made my mom order the CD for me because I apparently had never heard of Hot Topic, where you could just go and buy the CD at the mall. She ordered it for me from a record store in Milwaukee, and I got like a picture disc of the CD and like the lyric booklet and everything. And I remember just like drinking it in before I could really even fully process what he was talking about most of the time. But I knew there was something there. And then as I aged, it all made it
becomes more relevant every time I listen to it.
Yeah, it's like, this is great. Oh, this is even better than I thought it was. Oh, this is great. Oh, okay. How did this guy write all this when he was 19? What the hell? So that pretty much was like, being off to the races from that,
Yeah, I used to have that energy cassette when I was in late in high school, and used to rock that shit in my pickup truck all the time. That was fucking awesome. Love
Yeah,
that.
I very
I have three tattoos. One is Operation Ivy, one is Rancid, and the other is a ska band from Germany called the Butlers that I nerded out on when we interviewed them a couple of months back.
hell yeah.
So just imagine how much I'll nerd out if I ever talk to Tim Armstrong on this.
I
Even
bet
though I
you,
have reached out and he hasn't responded. Surprise, surprise.
funnily enough, when I started my first band, which was named after an Operation Ivy bootleg, I found Jesse Michaels on Facebook and sent it to him, and he listened to it and was like very like cool, just talked to me like I wasn't being a weirdo, like looking over his fence.
Yeah.
That was cool. On that subject, the Classics of Love record is fantastic. That is like a slept on ska punk gem of a record. If
What
you
is
have
that? Classics of Love?
Classics of Love, it was the band Hard Girls backing him up, but it came out in like 2012 or 2013, and it's just like 12 songs of just like he sounds just as pissed off and just as intelligent, and the songs are really really good. If you like Operation Ivy, I highly recommend it.
Oh.
Yeah, I remember Downfall when they after Op Ivy they recorded I think one song Downfall. They put it on that Lookout comp.
Yeah,
Pig something with a pig on it.
yeah,
But that was pretty cool. And then I guess Jesse did Kamen Rider, right?
yeah. Common Rider, and the first song on that record was called Classics of Love. And then like in 2011, 2012, he started a band called Classics of Love, and they put out an EP and a record. But the self-titled record is really good. I think it was. I don't know if it was on Quote Unquote or on Asian Man or what, but it's a very good record. It's got like a bunch of like a painting of a bunch of soldiers on it. It's like red and gray. Yeah.
Cool, man.
Yeah. So, have you ever written a song in response to like a political or social event?
Just you wait.
Oh,
Unreleased.
He was trying to bait you in there.
I know. I can't I can't give away everything. But we do have a two-tone like political banger in the canon ready to go in response to everything.
Everything. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
I hope it's called Fuck Trump.
It's called Political Jokes.
Oh,
really?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
All
Very
right.
neat.
I sit down to try and write political songs all the time, and then I just get sad.
Oh.
Like, oh, this is all so overwhelming and terrible, and I hate it. Thanks for coming.
So, I'll ask another one. Which type of media do you listen to more? Vinyl, streaming, CD, cassette?
Not CD. We know that.
Yeah.
I have a big collection of CDs. I don't hate CDs. I just don't want to burn any more of them, basically. I think we're both pretty firmly in the streaming camp. I have records. I put them on sometimes, but we're on the go. We're always moving. It's a New York thing,
Mm-hmm. I've been seeing on TikTok shop down there starting to sell CD players like back in the day, like those CD that you can attach to your computer or something. And yeah. So maybe it might come back.
Probably.
I mean, probably a lot cheaper than pressing vinyl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, streaming. This is the new age. You either get with it or get out. And I just want everybody to have access to it, and accessibility is so important. And streaming is the best way for everybody to get a chance to listen to it. So. If it comes to like my own personal, like when I listen to music, I'm always trying to find new stuff. And so like, any streaming platform, whatever you choose to use, will always give you like recommended bands based off of what you're currently listening to. And like at least once a week, I try to like go through that option of whatever it is and try to listen to something new or find someone new in the genre or something adjacent enough, because like, we're a new band. I want to see what other new bands are out there doing. And like, if we're on the road and I'm like, hey, this band's maybe not ska, but like, man, I heard them and they were sick. So
Yeah.
I like
That's
both.
like, do you two ever listen to like the ska radio shows and stuff like that?
More so now that we keep being played on them. Holy shit.
So
There's so
so
many I can't keep up with.
yeah.
I genuinely didn't know so many existed until I keep getting like pings on our Facebook page. Um, that it's like, oh, this ska radio in Brazil has played
Uh-huh.
you 7 times now. And I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, Mikey Rood from that same old show in Hawaii loves
Yeah,
you guys.
I'm so blessed. It was just his birthday. I was like, yo, shout
Yeah,
out, Mikey.
Yeah.
we love Mikey. We tune in when that you made me remember that because when I tune in, like Minna Goodwin has This Is Ska, Gil Sanchez has Twist and Shake Radio. So they all have different, like Gil has like a lot of mod stuff. So
Yeah.
it's mod and soul, which is cool, along with the ska. So there's stuff that I haven't heard of. Mikey plays a lot of stuff that I don't even, there was like one band that he played that I had never heard of. I said, man, this is flipping killer. But he does play a lot of bands that I've never heard of. I'm trying to bring up my stupid Shazam because I got to Shazam it. Um, on those ones that I don't know. Um, so
He
like he
love
played somebody called Nia Ska the other day, from was it Philippines or something? We'd never
oh,
heard of
wow.
this, and she
Indonesia,
kicks
maybe?
ass.
Was it Indonesia?
Nia Ska
Indonesia, I was saying.
or Indonesia? I'm sorry, yes, not the Philippines. So
Yeah.
that's we heard. That's like you said, we heard about different bands just from listening to different things or hearing things like that. So it's awesome. That's what I love.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
we,
Mm-hmm.
we got hit by it was probably as a result of that radio show. Uh, the band from Indonesia got in touch with us a while back.
The fish guy.
Fish Ska.
Yeah,
The fish
and
guy,
they
yeah.
were like, I used to play in a New York hardcore band, and when I told the dude that, he was like blown away. He's like, "Wait a minute, I love those guys." And I'm like, "That's bizarre to me," but yeah, man, my dude lives 10 minutes away from me. It's cool, but they're good record, man. And it was wild to me to be talking to somebody from across the world, being like, "Yeah, I like your music." I'm like, whoa, like to her point. Talking about streaming services, I feel the need to say fuck Spotify. I use YouTube. Everybody uses it. It's like, I don't judge anybody who uses Spotify. Everyone does, but it's just like they suck. It's a bummer that's like, become the predominant thing, but very much to Kay's point, the get with it or get out is kind of like, it's where the people are going to listen to the music. So
Yeah.
got to be there to listen to.
God
Yeah.
bless DistroKid.
Yeah.
Put on all the things.
Yeah.
Do you know Diana Hernandez, Boss Selecta? She manages the Tuffers.
Yeah, I know Diana.
Okay, so Diana is a big advocate of Tidal.
Yeah.
Does she pitch you guys on that too?
Not directly. I
Yeah.
guess she's out there now in LA.
Yeah, she's out here. Yeah, we just saw her.
Yeah, I knew her when she lived in Brooklyn, and she was working for TuneCore, I think, at the time, and like doing that whole thing. She was always talking about that. Like, yeah, like if we can find a way for it to be more, amenable to artists, like that's where we're trying to go.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, Spotify like pays pennies, like fractions of pennies, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I heard they also donated money to some type of research, like was it AI bombing or I don't know.
yeah, no, they're a giant tech company. I mean, they all are. Like that's the thing is, it's like there's no escaping it really. We're
Right.
we're just in the midst of it. But but you can find us on Spotify. Smash that like button and be sure to subscribe.
Yeah.
Not to dive off into the weeds. I just felt the need to say that.
No, it's
But
Do you want me to go before your last question?
Sure,
'Cause I got
go
a
for
couple
it.
more. All right.
Yeah, go for it.
Now we know that ska doesn't pay the bills. So
No.
what are each of your occupations, if you care to share with us, please?
I am a full-time bar maiden.
and I work at a very cool movie theater in Williamsburg called Nighthawk Cinema. That it's an indie theater, and they do like full dinner service during the movie. So I was a runner, and I'm actually starting as a server now. So
cool.
Yeah, but they do like a lot of like specialty screenings where they will show like music documentaries or have like musicians come in and play live scores while like a silent film is going on. That's
awesome.
It's a cool spot to be in. Funny enough, we did a Spotify event for MF Doom's 20th anniversary of Food.
I got my bag from that.
Yeah. So.
Oh,
that's cool. Food.
So I got a bunch of free MF Doom swag as a result of Spotify. So I guess they're all right.
So Kay, working as a bartender, is that challenging for you?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I think, I mean, everybody's experience is going to be different, obviously. But I guess it was kind of like a fight or flight kind of like decision, because I've been in the service industry since I was 16, and like I've done every position working my way up. And when I made the decision that I had to stop, I was like, am I going to have to find a new way to make money? Because like and I had, I'm now many years post graduating college. I went to art school, and I still do my art on the side, of course. But when it comes to paying bills, I was just like, all right, I need to see if I can make this work, because, I worked very hard to get like the shifts that I have. Bartending in New York City is no joke. And I love all of my friends and my coworkers too. I work for like a big bar company that owns a bunch of bars. So like I have some variety. I'm not in just one place every week. So it's tough, but I think I learned how to separate myself from the environment. Be like, all right, when I'm on this side of the bar, like I'm paying my rent right now,
Right.
It allows me to separate myself from the thing and just be like, yeah, I'm just doing what everybody else does, and I'm just going to work. So it's of course tough. And like, I mean, Vinny sees the more vulnerable sides of me, because sometimes I'll come home from work and I'll be like, just like defeated, because there could be like, it could not even be a bad shift. Like it could just be busy as shit, and I like make good money, but still I find this need to like want to have like a drink after my shift, like that like reward. And then I just come home and I look at him and I just will be like, just like breathing into the pillow, but.
And as somebody who's relatively green to the misery contained therein, it's like, and with a much different relationship to it, it's like you understand, or some people I think don't understand, how much of a part of the culture surrounding it is like drinking. I mean, like in general, like you don't realize how much like of like interacting and being social with people is centered around drinking. But like then when you add the fact of like having to like serve people as a living, it just kind of compounds and folds in on itself, where it's like I never used to understand, like people like go out after they're at work all day and they go get hammered and they get up and go to work the next day, and it's like, well, yeah, if you're already at a bar, it's not like a inconceivable thing that you would go to another one or go, like it's, so it just like it's where am I going with this is simply the fact that it's like it's not like you have to seek it out, it's right there, so it definitely it takes more discipline than most people. Like it catches up to people you wouldn't expect, like, and some people never even realize it about themselves. So it's kind of like,
Well, it's good that, Kay's got, mind over matter there in regards to, the challenges you face there.
Yeah, and I always try not to be too preachy. Like I want to have a fun time. I want everybody to have a fun time. It's just not for me anymore, and that's cool. And like I'm not going to be like straight edge. Like I still smoke a lot of weed. I people always call it California sober, but I always bite back with I'm from the East Coast. So,
Yeah.
Not into labels, man.
I'm just growing up, It's like that's literally all I'm doing. I'm just figuring it out.
Yeah. So for my last question, picture Ska History Hour viewers discovering the Doomstompers for the first time. Which track should they queue up and why?
Oh shit! Both of them. We only got two.
All two of them. If you listen to both of them, you'll know what we're about.
If you have 8 minutes out of your day to listen to our two available songs,
you can get it done in 6.
Yeah.
If you really try hard. If you're,
I mean, I think the cool thing is about listening to both is that, like I said, we're trying to not just sound like one thing. So you get a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So if you listen to both, like we're trying to get that duality. Like, do you like this? Do you like that?
because we do.
Because we do.
Yeah, it really is kind of like, I'd say if you're a purist, you want superstitious. If you want to party, then you want the song about not drinking.
Yeah. I love that song. It's
Because
such
it goes
a skate.
fast.
Yeah.
Now, what are each of your pet peeves and addictions?
Pet peeves and addictions.
Addictions. Well, I think I just said
Yeah,
all of those.
we
I
pretty
am
much got the
now-
same addictions.
I am now like I like a good coffee. I seek out good coffee a lot, and caffeine's pretty addicting, I suppose. Pet peeves. Gosh, I feel like my mom's really good at those. I don't know. What do you think? What annoys me?
Oh, don't put me on the spot. For addictions, I'm going to say empanadas, and for pet peeves, when the reggae doesn't reggae is my number one pet peeve. That's pertinent to this conversation. Or pet peeves. I don't know. You really
I'm pretty easy.
You don't like when the plan changes and you weren't privy to it.
Yeah, he just did that today.
Oh, he learned.
Yeah, I did the laundry.
You ever seen there's a movie with Jennifer Aniston and Vince Vaughn, and he says, "Why would I want to do the dishes?" She's like, "I want you to want to do the dishes." Same thing with the laundry. No one wants to do that.
Pet peeve. Haters. I don't know. I just want everybody to be nice to people and like have a good time and just be inclusive. So I think my biggest pet peeve would just be people are always trying to bring the mood down.
Don't kill the vibe,
Don't kill
man.
the vibe.
Yeah.
It's like super easy.
Now we sound like we're from California.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, dude.
No.
Is that how everybody on the East Coast thinks we talk? Like, hey, man.
No, only those of you who I've met. No. Is it a day that ends in Y? No.
What do you mean, bro? What do you mean, bro?
When we interview some of the bands from across the pond, sometimes you got to listen really hard to try to understand their accent.
Yeah.
Some of them are pretty. Like when we interviewed Los Fastidios, who unfortunately is not playing Supernova now. But we
had
to
play a show with them in New York.
Yeah, we were supposed to play with them.
Yeah,
in New York, and now they're not, and we're all really upset about it.
Yeah, I know. It sucks, but DACA's still playing.
Yeah, pumped.
Yeah,
totally. So I don't even know what I was saying. What was I saying?
Bands with hard accents across the pond.
Oh yeah, so sometimes we have to listen very intently to that because they think we speak weird.
Yeah,
we think they speak differently. So, now. What does the future hold for the Doomstompers? We briefly touched on new material coming. When can we expect that tentatively?
So the record, it's still being molded. It's like next year, 100%.
Yeah.
With it before the summer, like ideally the first 3 months. Like I said, I still also don't know.
But when the time is right, we'll know. But
we already have been offered help.
Yeah.
And I can't say who, but it's gonna happen, and we're pumped. Like we want a 12-song LP.
Yeah.
Like to just be like, boom, Doomstompers.
Yeah.
We're gonna make a record that doesn't suck. Hopefully. With any luck. And the big goal, the future is tour. We want to go on the road. I've been doing one every year for the last 4, and this is the first year that I'm like not going to be at least checking out for a couple of weeks to go and do the thing. So it calls to us. We need to. It has to happen. So
Yeah.
hoping to hit the road next year in promotion of that. I mean, the singles will be out sooner so that keep the wheels turning, keep people interested, keep
Yeah. But I also do think it's important that we get some time for ourselves as well. Like how we said, like it's super great we're doing all of this so soon, but like in reality, we've played as a group less than 10 times. So like the months of November and December, like that's we just like want to hang out and like write and record and like just get to like be a band, you know. And then next year, like come out swinging.
Yeah. It's just the running and gunning is fun, and it keeps things like the train on the track, but like she just said, like getting time to really like incubate and like throw things up against the wall and see what sticks is going to be greatly advantageous, I think. So that's what the future holds, is sharpening it up and readying for the next offensive.
How would that look for leaving? Would you leave your jobs behind if you guys were touring for a while?
Well, the cool thing about the service industry is that
there will always be a bar to tend.
And like, I mean, not every job is like this, but like luckily with ours, both of our jobs are very supportive of what we're doing. And like, I mentioned to my boss, I was like, when I start doing this, I'm sure there's going to be like a time where we're on the road for 3-4 weeks at a time. So let's say a month. Am I going to still have my shift when I get back? And he's like, yeah, somebody will work your Wednesday for a month. I'm sure everybody likes a couple $100 extra, So it's not leaving behind. It's just allowing us to like,
expand,
push ourselves forward and expand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. Plus, like, a couple of our members are they have mortgages, so at the as you said so eloquently beforehand, Ska doesn't pay the bills, so
no, 3-4 weeks max.
Were it to at least, the aim in my mind has always been and will always be, if I am able to do this, be in a band, play music, and have it do well enough to fund the cost and not actively make me poorer than I already am at present, which is a pretty tall order. That is how I define success personally. And I think it's, I've seen it work for people. So that's really like the aim, is to, if people want to hear us, the aim is to make that happen. And if they help us, we'll help them.
Right on. We interviewed Catbite last week, I think it was. I don't remember. I think it was last week. And they had to have a friend of theirs move in to their place to watch their animals.
Jack, yeah.
Yeah. So you might, I don't know if you guys have animals or
yeah, I have a dog. She's
sleeping.
Peacefully. Her name is
so same type of thing. You gotta have somebody stay behind and watch the loved ones.
Luckily, again, friends who just like really are supportive of us and want us to do well, like, just are like, yeah, I'll watch Posh. I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
Like I don't think it'll ever be a problem.
Cool. So would you guys like end up being a band like Catbite that's always on the road? Would that be like your mission?
Right now, I think it's just too soon to tell.
Yeah. I think the best answer is let you know when I get there.
Yeah.
Right.
If we end up being continuing this trend of being fortunate and people wanting to hear us and support us in that way, that would be I honestly
be great.
It would be great. It's beyond what I could actually put into words. It would be such a crazy thing to experience. I mean,
similar to what I said about Supernova earlier, it's just like, I'm just happy to be here, So whatever happens, I just want to make sure that we're all having fun, because that's what matters, and if we're given opportunity to do more and it's feasible for all of us, then fuck yeah.
I would be happy just to get to play with these bands, like it's like just to be on the other side of the fence some of the time, You know, like I kind of like go around like collecting them like poker chips, you know, being like, you know, and just in like for like, you know, the personal experience of it, like, you know, the day I get to open for the suicide machines, like, well, that's a feather in the cap that goes in the, you know, that goes in the highlight reel of my life when it flashes before my eyes at the end of it. You know, that's kind of what I'm working toward. Is it's like when that happens, I want it to be worth watching and be like, hey, I did that stuff. That's cool. You know, so you know, just getting to play with my favorite bands and you know, do this like nerding parasocial rock and roll thing is really like that's the gas in the engine really at the end of the day. You know,
Imagine the suicide machines come a calling. We want you on the West Coast tour.
Yeah, they are friends. You know, I've become pretty friendly with Rich, the bassist, and you know, from again being a nerdy kid who would fly halfway across the country to go to see Suicide Machine shows. Eventually, Jay was like, "Who are you?" And now, you know, we know each other, so it's cool. Yeah. But you know,
we posted that first post on Instagram, and then I posted like a quick like reel of next week before we actually dropped the single. And I remember getting the notification, Jay Navarro started following you from your reel. And I was like, hey, babe, wake up. It's happening. Jay Navarro just followed us on Instagram.
He's the only one that I still know from that band. Everyone else is different. Yeah.
Rich and Justin and Ryan are all really cool dudes. So
yeah. Cool. All right. Now, normally this is the time where I ask where we could find your music, both physical and digital.
But we've been talking about
these answers.
We're on everything, baby.
We're inadvertently really good at marketing, apparently.
Yeah, if you, I guess the easiest question, if you go on our Instagram, there's one link in the bio. It'll take you to our link tree, and everything is there. Perfect. The shows that have ticket links available are there. All of our link to our Bandcamp is there. The YouTube video of us, the process video of us recording next week is there. Yeah, and where to find us on streaming. So
all the stuff and all the things.
Yeah.
Cool. Now, any last words for your fans out there and the viewers of our channel?
Keep on stomping, man. We're coming for you. You know, they got it right when they say one of these boots are gonna stomp all over you. True, I'm coming. Like, I just can't wait.
Nice.
That's awesome.
What she said.
Well, okay. Well, we thank you for the time that you took. It looks like it's a little after 10:30 where you guys are at, I believe. So thank you very much. Hold on real quick. We're gonna speak to you right after, but we can't wait to see what you guys got going on. We'll see you in a couple weeks at Supernova. Yeah, definitely. Okay, hold on. Thank you very much.
Hello, Skankers. Jose here, aka Skanking Force. Would you like to win a free Ska Box? It's as easy as following Ska Box Rocks and Sniff Dog Records on Instagram and Facebook. And subscribe to Ska History Hour on YouTube and comment Ska Box Rocks in any video to enter. Good luck!